Hi, this is Kim.
This is Andy.
We're going to read to you from the Urantia, but first we got Light the Flame by Andrew Harvey. Light the flame.
And today
is October 31st. So get your witchy hats on, people.
Halloween. Today is a Sufi prayer by Andrew Harvey.
And of course, you know the Sufis is a mystical sect of Islam that are normally, I think most of them are in Turkey.
I think so.
Yeah.
You made the fountain of brass flow for Solomon and graced him power over all winds. What I pray for is this one miracle, that in all my darkest days, those of the world, I may always worship your light.
Is that a miracle?
I guess so. In those darkest days of the world.
Or is that my choice?
Worship the light.
Worship the light, even when it's dark. Well, you know,
especially when it's dark.
It's dark in Sweat Lodge, and we do that. Yeah.
We do.
Because that light is inside of you. It's inside of you, you know. And but the source of it is outside too. Yeah. So you have to believe that. Don't let them tell you that, something else.
Sometimes it shines so brightly in you that other people can see it.
Yeah. That's a good time. That's a good time. Yeah. Well, I want to be able to do that to show people that. And that's true. I always felt like that. Like some people are really shiny, just shine,
Excuse me.
Did you ever meet somebody like that was really just like, seem like they're just like stick out? They're just shiny, like. First time I met Christina, she was kind of like that, and Pato too.
I can see that.
Yeah. They're just like they're, Yeah, so it's cool. Yeah. Okay. Christina said that Forrest is shiny like that. I suppose he is kind of. Yeah, that's my son, Forrest. Okay, we're going to read from the Urantia book. We're going to read chapter or paper 24, Higher Personalities of the Infinite Spirit, section 2, the Census Directors. Now, these personalities are organized in groups here. Yeah. So they're census directors. Yeah, so there serves the capitals of the super universes. Okay, I'm gonna read. Okay. Notwithstanding that the cosmic mind of the universal intelligence is cognizant of the presence and whereabouts of all thinking creatures, there is operative in the universe of universes an independent method of keeping count of all will creatures. Does that sound weird? So how can you be willful and not thinking, or thinking without being willful?
Right. I'm not sure about that.
Well, does a computer think? But a computer doesn't really have will.
Right. True.
So I'm thinking that that will creatures are a subset of thinking creatures. Or can you have will without thinking? Maybe. If you always have this function to do no matter what. What about like assembly line workers who are like they will to remove the defective product, or they're doing this? Are they thinking on very rudimentary level if they're actually thinking.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or you have one crucial thing to perform, like, like your security guard, and don't let anybody pass the gate. Okay, so, or those guys that march like the Queen's Guard, with those big hats. They just like, they don't respond or anything. They just stand there, right? And guard or march when they're supposed to march,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is
Right.
that like a will without thinking, a doing without thinking, or thinking without
So,
doing?
what about a typical 2-year-old?
Well, they're developing both of those capacities. But yeah, but they're willful little beings, but they're plotting and they're thinking, yeah, if I throw my food on the floor, it's kind of fun to see, you know what I mean? Then I can get mommy to do this,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody to interact with me if you know what I mean?
Is that more willful or more thinking, or both?
I think it's both. I just think it's a level of development of both.
Mm.
But I mean, that's an interesting philosophical point. Yeah. Oh, and I don't know. I'm getting off track, but anyway, I'll just keep reading. The census directors are a special and completed creation of the infinite spirit, and they exist in numbers unknown to us. They are so created as to be able to maintain perfect synchrony with the reflectivity technique of the super universes, while at the same time they are personally sensitive and responsive to intelligent will. But they're responsive to intelligent will. So are they like will creatures are telling them what to do and they do it or something, or they respond to other will creatures? To intelligent will. These directors, by a not fully understood technique, I love it when they I like that, are made immediately aware of the birth of will in any part of the grand universe. So if all of a sudden here, like that 2-year-old is, instead of acting on instinct or on just, if they have a willful purpose, if they're developing that, they've developed that will, but that's, implies, well, how do you zero in on that? What is the point of the birth of will?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, you see what I mean? This book is so crazy like that. Okay, but anytime these guys know when the birth of will in any part of the grand universe, they are therefore always competent to give us the number, nature, and whereabouts of all will creatures in any part of the central creation and the 7 super universes. But they do not function on paradise. There is no need for them there. On paradise, knowledge is inherent. The deities know all things. The 7 census directors operate in Havona. Oh, there's just 7 of them, right?
I thought it said there were an unknown number.
Oh, okay. You're right. It's an unknown number, but it says that 7 of them operate in Havona. So those are right. There's probably other ones all over the place. Okay. 7 census directors operate in Havona, one being stationed on the pilot world of each Havona circuit. Accepting these 7 and the reserves of the order on the paradise worlds of the spirit, all census directors function under the jurisdiction of the Ancients of Days. Okay. One census director presides at the headquarters of each super universe. While subject to such a chief director are thousands upon thousands one on the capital of every local universe. All personalities of this order are equal, excepting those on the Havona pilot worlds and the seven super universe chiefs. Okay,
Mhm.
so there's, yeah, so a few of them, they're equal except the ones operating on in Havona and the ones in the super universe capitals. Okay, you go. No, paragraph 5.
Okay. In the seventh super universe, there are 100,000 census directors, and this number consists entirely of those assignable to local universes. It does not include the personnel staff of Usatia, the super universe chief of all Orvantan directors. Usatia, like the other super universe chiefs, is not directly attuned to the registration of intelligent will. He is solely attuned to his subordinates, stationed in the Orvantan universes. Thus, he acts as a magnificent totaling personality for their reports coming in from the capitals of the local creations. From time to time, the official recorders of Uversa place on their records the status of the superuniverse as it is indicated by the registrations in and upon the personality of Usatia. Such census data is indigenous to the superuniverses. These reports are transmitted neither to Havona nor to Paradise.
Okay, so Eustacia is this being that tabulates the censuses of all the will creatures
Mm-hmm.
and their status in the universe.
Sort of a central tabulating personality.
Yeah. Bless you.
Thank you. The census directors are concerned with human beings as with other will creatures, only to the extent of recording the fact of will function. They are not concerned with the records of your life and its doings. They are not in any sense recording personalities. The census director of Nebadon, number 81,412,
Don't you love that? I know. Why
Of-
do they do that?
Orvanton, now stationed on Salvington, is at this very moment personally conscious and aware of your living presence here on Urantia, and he will afford the records confirmation of your death the moment you cease to function as a will creature. Census directors register the existence of a new will creature when the first act of will is performed. Does that mean that at that moment there's a coordinating action to send a
No, thought adjuster.
thought adjuster?
That's a higher level of development. That's like a moral act of
moral.
will.
Okay,
That's
moral.
that's right. So this is
Just an
yeah.
act of will.
Mhm.
They indicate the death of a will creature when the last act of will takes place.
Okay, so that's interesting to me. So if somebody has an accident or an illness which leaves them, mentally, unable to function, yet you're not physically dead, but
Comatose.
there's different levels of will though.
Mhm.
I mean of death. There's different levels of death too.
Mhm.
It talks about death extensively in there too.
The partial emergence of will observed in the reactions of certain of the higher animals does not belong to the domain of the census directors. They keep count of nothing but bona fide will creatures, and they are responsive to nothing but will function. Exactly how they register the function of will, we do not know. What?
What do they how do they decide what's will and what's not?
Good question.
Yeah, but they know that they're doing that. We have to just trust them that they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like animals are not, but they see. I think there might be some animals that are actually people.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Interesting.
If you're trained and socialize an animal enough to actually have like Lassie really loved little Timmy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't just doing that just out of loyalty, out of duty. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. Okay.
These beings always have been and always will be census directors. They would be comparatively useless in any other division of universe labor, but they are infallible in function. They never default, neither do they falsify. And notwithstanding their marvelous powers and unbelievable prerogatives, they are persons. They have recognizable spirit presence and form. Wow.
Okay.
So the census directors.
Yeah, for real.
Yep. And now we need to go and pick up a friend, and we're going to church this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Yesterday was Kim's birthday. Today is Halloween.
Today's Halloween.
So happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Okay, don't get scared, kids. It's all right. Okay,
Bye.
bye.